There's not one statue in his honor and no street bears his name. But here in Cuba, Fidel Castro is everywhere. The leader of the country's communist revolution is one of the most divisive figures of the 20th century. From state-controlled food handouts to free medical care, every aspect of life here is Castro's creation.
For me, losing Fidel was a big blow. He was a great man, the greatest I can think of in so many ways. He was unique. He's irreplaceable. You know, being by his side all that time, I know he was so humane, so sensitive, and such a gentleman.
Castro's first confrontation with the US-backed Batista dictatorship in 1953 failed and landed him in prison. 2 years later, he was free, and his growing egalitarian ideas became widely popular among lower-class Cubans. In 1954, Castro began a close friendship that would prove vital.
Fidel let Guevara join him on his invasion of Cuba in 1958. Castro wanted to use Guevara's fame as a means of also encouraging revolutions.
On New Year's Day in 1959, Castro's rebels overthrew Fulgencio Batista. Castro immediately launched reforms, bringing free healthcare and education to all Cubans. But he did not fulfill all his promises, including one for democratic elections within 6 months. He confiscated land from the wealthy in the name of socialism, which triggered a mass exodus of middle-class Cubans.
Fidel Castro has governed in an absolute and totalitarian way in our country, stealing my people's freedom.
An ambivalent relationship with the US soon turned hostile, and Cuba was forced to rely almost entirely on financial and military support from the Soviet Union. During the Cuban Missile Crisis, Castro won a reputation as the man who kept his superpower neighbor on its toes. But the US imposed an economic embargo on his country, and for nearly 6 decades, Cuba has suffered economic hardships. Castro survived 11 US presidents and many assassination attempts. It was only his old age that forced him to hand power over to his younger brother Raúl in 2008. Fidel Castro's death in 2016 was mourned by millions. For dissidents, it was a reason to celebrate and a chance for change. And some change has already come. But just before his death, Castro urged Cubans to stay loyal to his socialist ideology.
Soon, I will be like everyone else. Everyone's turn comes. But ideas of Cuban communists will remain.
He remained defiant and combative to the end. Inside Cuba, things may seem quiet without Fidel, but this country is his living legacy. And in the final days of the Castro family regime, the world muses over what kind of change is yet to come. Ediz Tiyansan, TRT World, Havana.